I heartily and happily welcome everyone to this fourth series of SkillUP. All of you know that this series started 3 years ago, and we are into the fourth year today with one more series of episodes, and we are likely to have another 24 episodes this year as well, like in the past. So, SkillUp is a fortnightly online series of presentations by LCIPs, and every one of these presentations has an international leader as a chief guest, and either an LCIP or as an international leader as a speaker. So, the topics relate to life skills, personality development, lionism, leadership skills, presentation skills, and a plethora of other subjects as well. The objective of this program has always been to help the LCIPs, help the FDIs, help the lions, leaders, trainers, and any passionate lion from anywhere to upskill oneself. The idea is to share what we have so that everybody benefits. We benefit and others benefit. That has been the idea right from the beginning behind all these episodes. And this was the first year when we had 21 fortnightly episodes. We started late that year, and that's why we could have only 21 fortnights and 21 presentations by LCIPs. Then we went on to move to the second year, and during the second year, we did 27 episodes, and that was the second year. And we went on to do the third year as well, that is last year, and another 24 episodes were presented during that year too. And we are now into the fourth year of our presentations. And as you're all aware, every one of these presentations begins with discussing something very, very basic to Lionism. We discussed the code of ethics, we discussed our purposes, we discussed our logo, we discussed various other things during these presentations, and we invite some volunteers to come forward and make short 2 to 3 minute presentations about very basic ideas relating to Lionism. And today we have Lion Jawhar Bihani, who himself is an LCIP, to talk to us about what this LCIP is. Because quite a lot of times people call me and ask me, Sir, can we also make a presentation during this Skill Up series? I tell them, I'm sorry, I would like to have you, but this is limited to LCIPs. We've been inviting only LCIPs. And some of them ask me, Sir, what is this LCIP? I thought it would be appropriate to clarify this question, and I've invited Jawhar Bihani to tell us what LCIP is. Jawhar, are you ready?
Oh, yes, I am ready. I
Yeah,
am
please
ready.
go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening. Uh, just a minute. Mm. Good evening, Vijay Rajeju, nagaRAJU ji, and thank you very much. I think I am having some problem. Mm.
The meanwhile, when Jawhar is getting ready, if any of you know the full form of
No,
LCIP,
actually I am ready, but the voice is coming again, so
maybe
that
you've
is
logged in from
problem.
two different devices, but we
Oh,
can hear you
I
clearly.
am joining from two devices, so I
Which
will
of one?
just close one.
You can go ahead. We can hear you. So anyone who knows the full form of LCIP, please write it in the chat box. And LCIPs themselves, of course, know it, but others can write the full form of that. I'll give you a clue. L stands for Alliance.
So I am ready,
Yeah, please
nagaRAJU
go ahead.
ji,
Go
if
ahead.
you want.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, nagaRAJU, for allowing me to speak about LCIP today evening, and I am happy to share what is LCIP. So think LCIP is just not a certification. LCIP is a journey, and this journey went on the path of leadership, path of learning, and path of teaching other people. So think that what is LCIP? So LCIP think as a passport, and passport is just as a passport which allows you to cross the borders of your country and connect with the people of the world. In the same fashion, in the same way, LCIP certification allows you to cross the boundaries of leadership training and connect live with the lions of the world. The journey of LCIP is rigorous. While doing this, some people must be in Hindi, तो LCIP का जो सफर रहता है वो बहुत कठोर और बहुत सख्त रहता है. When you go for the training, it is a four days immersive facilitation practices, live evaluation, and it is continuous learning. But the reward is always powerful. You are recognized as a part of global faculty of trusted facilitator. So one question comes in the mind, why does certification matters? The certification matters because it is training with excellence. It is just not enthusiasm. Enthusiasm can help you to go for the training, but it is training is with always with excellence. It matters because of its credibility and confidence in every training hall you are entering. It matters because of consistent learning outcomes across the district worldwide. It matters for multiplication of leadership. And what is multiplication? That means you are helping others to grow. You are helping others to grow. You are imparting the knowledge and skills of leadership, and so that they grow and you create a new leadership. It is just not learning ourselves or creating ourselves. So LCIP is just not a badge which you wear on the coat. It is just not a badge. It is a passport to influence. It is promise of quality and pathway of building leaders. These leaders will serve with skills, with their leadership skills, with their vision, and with their values. So this is what I think about LCIP.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
nagaRAJU.
nagaRAJU ji, for allowing me this.
Thank you very much for telling us about this Lions Certified Instructor Program. And as you have already said, this is a very, very tough path for anybody. For those who are interested in becoming LCIPs, the next notification for the Isame area LCIP has already come. The last date is very soon. And in case you are interested, you can go to the website, download the application, and you can apply for that. So welcome once again. So today we have our immediate past international president and LCIF chair, AP Singh ji, as our chief guest. And despite his very, very, very busy schedule, actually he is in Chicago for an important executive meeting. And despite that, he has given us some time to record his message and send us. And I'm very happy that he is with us this evening. And I'll tell you about him a little later after we see his message. So here is his message, and let's all watch it.
Lion nagaRAJU and my dear friends, let me first of all congratulate you for the great work that you are doing. In fact, getting into the 4th year of SkillUP series, it's fantastic. When it started, to be very honest, we didn't realize or we weren't very sure how far it would go. But with the wide expanse that it has taken, with the kind of involvement of so many trainers around the country and the constitutional areas, some of them from even other parts of the world, I think this is a fantastic effort this is a wonderful initiative. It's about enhancing capacity of the Lions and Lions clubs and the districts to perform better, to be able to serve better, to be able to build those bridges of understanding between the peoples of the world, to be able to cater to the needs of diversity and inclusivity, to take care of all the requirements of the lions today in our part of the world in increasing their capacity to enhance the impact of what we are doing. Now, these are commonly used words, but what does this mean? This essentially means that we need to wake up some lions, we need to inspire others, we need to share success stories, we need to talk about the developments in technology and how they can be incorporated in the working of our clubs, our districts, our multiple districts. We have to try and incubate certain new ideas. We have to tweak some ideas and some successful pathways which have been demonstrated in a wonderful way in other parts of the world. And to do all of that, you need some brilliant minds to apply themselves, to be able to speak to our lions and our lions leaders, to be able to speak to their colleagues, the others who are also in the training field, so that our training programs become more focused, become more sharp, and become more result oriented. This is exactly what you're achieving through your series. So through Lion nagaRAJU, in fact, I'm thanking each one of you, everyone who's participating, everyone who's making those presentations here on a fortnightly basis, and everyone who is enriching the others by sharing. Thank you. Keep going, and I wish your initiative in its fourth version all the best.
Thank you very much, sir. Whenever you speak and whenever we listen to you, there is a lot that is there for us to learn. And you are right. So, incubating ideas, tweaking ideas, waking up the sleeping giants, these are some very, very important things that Lionism needs to address today. And we are very happy that you have given us time this evening to share your thoughts with us. And despite your very, very hectic schedule, you have given us time. I don't think I need to talk about our immediate past president and tell you about him. There is a lot that I can tell you, but one thing that comes to my mind and I recall whenever I have an opportunity to interact with him or maybe see him, see his picture and visualize the very late night, midnight, beyond midnight meetings that we used to have during the international board meetings, which I had the privilege of attending along with our past international director, Baburauji, in my capacity as the interpreter. So there used to be meetings at 12 o'clock in the night, 1 o'clock midnight. And he used to be so fresh during those meetings. He used to bring so many ideas. He used to ask quite a lot of questions and insightfully answer our questions and participate in every discussion extremely enthusiastically. And again, the next morning we see 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock again ready for the next day board meeting. So I don't know how he managed that. And I never saw him inactive. I never saw him, blinking an eye. I never saw him dull. I think you all might have experienced it similarly. And I think it's wonderful to work with him. And I think a great, great, great person with whom we all have had wonderful opportunities to interact in the last year. And I'm sure in his new capacity as LCIF chair, again, we'll have plenty of opportunities to talk to him, interact with him, help him, and raise funds for LCIF this year. So we have our guest speaker, Lion Sunil Kumar ji with us. And I don't think I need to tell you about Sunil Kumar ji also because he is equally popular and equally reputed, a great, great, great lion that we have here. And one thing that again comes to my mind is there are a few things that I told you about past international president AP Singh are almost the same about Lion Sunil Kumar also. He's extraordinarily exuberant every time. I think some of the mails that I receive from him at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the night, that proves that he keeps awake late in the night and works on lots of things. And I have had a very close association with him in different ways. And whenever I talk to him, whenever I interact with him, it's a lesson to learn. By profession, he is a tourism consultant and a very popular professional trainer, not only in Lionism, but in various other organizations as well. I think one or two times earlier, I told you that there are very, very few past international directors in the world who are also LCIPs. And Lion Sunil Kumar is one such. So apart from being an LCIP, he is a past international director also. And can anybody guess when did he join Lionism? I don't think because maybe looks often, I mean, deceive us. So you can ask him for his age later in case he wants to disclose that. But he has been a lion for 50 years. You may think that he looks 50, but he has been a lion for 50 years already. Of course, he joined as a Leo and then grew up into lion. He was a council treasurer and then CSF2 campaign site first two. He was a group coordinator. He was a GAT, constitutional area leader. And when Isame Forum happened, he chaired it and also he was instrumental in organizing several other global forums and areas and meetings. He worked for the Lion magazine board also. Uh, twice, I think. I'm not very sure, but I think it was twice, or more times. He's a member of the Federation of AP Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and he's a Freemason, and he's associated with quite a lot of other service and social and cultural and industrial business organizations. He was also a very active JC earlier, and he was the international vice president, world vice president. They call him world vice president and world executive vice president. And some of you might know that he also is an author. He wrote books, especially one book that he wrote uh, when he was in a hospital because of the corona. I think that became extremely popular, and that was one of the best sellers. And he wrote other books as well. Maybe if he has time, he will tell us about some of his books and his work. He's an orator. And one more thing I must tell you. So whenever I invite him to speak, he gives me a topic that I've never heard of. So he creatively thinks of the topic, creatively creates content, and presents them in a very highly impressive way. The last thing that I would like to tell you about him is that I think he will clarify during his talk if he gets time. I think he has traveled in over 100 countries. I don't know the latest figure, but roughly about 100 countries he has visited. And I heard him once say that his passport has 100 stamps of different countries. So I request him to tell us about the number of countries that he has visited as on today, and also I invite him to speak to us about the topic that he has chosen. Over to Lion Sunil Kumar ji.
Thank you very much, Lion nagaRAJU.
I think it is good.
So once again, thank you, Lion nagaRAJU, for bringing all of us together. To my friends who've joined us here, 100 of them, 100 of us, I think it's a great occasion for all of us to meet very often. Check our, our thoughts. Are we involved with new thoughts in life? Or are we living on the thoughts that we've already gone through before? I've always advocated mutual learning as the best part of learning. You sit alone and try to learn, you don't take home much. But you sit with a group of people and collectively learn, everybody learns it. Everybody learns together. And that is also exciting. So thank you all for joining us at this session. The subject that I would like to focus on is what I have recently witnessed. I witnessed this happening to the best of trainers. It's called trainers fading away in life. I repeat, it's about trainers fading away in life. The best of trainers. The most knowledgeable of trainers. If it's age or if it's a physical disability, well, I can call it an excuse or an exception. But when everything else is fine, but the trainer or the coach or the LCIP graduate does not evolve with times, then the fading away starts. Why does this happen? Think about it. Every one of you is a very knowledgeable leader. Why does anything in life become obsolete? There is something called sense of discovery, which is very important in people. And our audience who reflect the impact we create, they are very important to us. They are a great resource. Your audience is your best resource. But always remember this, that the audience that you have in front of you also have a sense of discovery. You have a lot of senses in life, sense of touch, sense of taste, sense of smell, but there's also something called sense of discovery. How do I explain this to you? Let's say you're driving a car and you're passing by a very beautiful lake. It's an amazing view on the top of a hill, greenery all around. You stop the car, get out of that car, take a picture, a selfie. If you have a friend, well, you will take pictures, many more, because you're so excited with that sight. This is a truly amazing, inspirational sight. And then you get into the car, you thank God for this wonderful opportunity, and you pass by. A few days later, you pass by the same road, and you again see this wonderful lake. You're eagerly awaiting to, experience the thrill of seeing this beautiful lake again. You get out of the car perhaps, and then you may not spend as much time as you did on the first occasion, but you still will not stop yourself from admiring its beauty. A few days later, you pass through on the same lake for a third time. And when you pass through it for the third time, you will still stop your car, but you may not get out of the car. You will look at the lake, smile, and then move on. For a fourth time, a few days later, when you pass through the lake, you may not really slow down the car, but you will take a glance and move forward. Fifth time, when you're passing by the lake, you may not even bother to look at the lake. It's a very strong message I am delivering to my colleagues. This is exactly the situation all of us, you, me, and all of us, will go through in front of our audience, because they've already discovered you. They are excited you for the first time. But you're a trainer, you're a speaker. You'll be called again and again and again and again to deliver your talk. And maybe a large number of them have been there before. Now, that discovery, that sense of discovery, that excitement it created when they first heard you, and when they second time heard you, when they hear you for a third time, and they hear you for a fourth time, and they hear you for a fifth time, it is no different than the excitement you experienced at that lake. So, what am I trying to point out? I am suggesting, dear friends, we need to go beyond teaching. We love teaching. When I say teaching, training, coaching, I'm using teaching as a word so that all of us can easily interpret it. We are in the business of teaching. We may not want to be saying so, but we are in the business of teaching, especially when we are talking to people. It is very important that we go beyond merely teaching. What do we teach is a big question. What is it we are teaching? Are we imparting knowledge, or are we inspiring actions from people? Very important question for you to address today. If you joined this session, please unlock my thought of looking at this statement from your perspective, from your thinking. Am I merely imparting knowledge or am I inspiring action? Am I touching people? Am I provoking people? Am I making people resolve that this is what he or she would do? One thing for certain, every audience is under your influence when you are the speaker. But it depends on you whether you attract their attention or you allow them to be attentive elsewhere. It is not an option with the audience. It is an option with the presenter, with you and with me. So going beyond teaching is to clarify to ourselves, what am I imparting? Knowledge or am I igniting inspiration? A very old quote that I have always used, and I don't have hesitation in repeating it once again, is a knowledgeable person informs others, and inspired person transforms others. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to inform people or do you want to transform people? Very clear. Very, very clear. So the title knowledge is recalled and inspiration is lived actually denotes that when you impart knowledge or when you share inspiration, it is only recalled. That's it. But if you have touched people in the process of your training, provoke them, very strategically provoke them, made them to resolve that this is going to change from tomorrow, then that imparting of inspired approaches will always be lived by the audience. So this helps in many ways. It helps us to better reform our approaches as a trainer. Number two, add value to the audience who join us. Now, I am speaking before 100 of us. I have spoken to many of us many times before. If I just tell you people what I have said to you, maybe on my first SkillUP or second, because nagaRAJU always wanted me to be the opening batsman, and they always agreed to be one. But if I tell you the same old story, I will lose you. I can't afford to lose you. So I have to, as I'm talking to you, my mind has to guide me that I can't say what I have said before. In the sense, I must give a different perspective to our thought. The big phase in life today is thought leadership. We talk about people leadership. We talk about business leadership, right? We talk about different forms of leadership. But thought leadership, fantastic subject. Some of the trainers want to take up this subject. I believe you will be a big hit for the next 10 years. The world needs thought leadership. How you project your personality, not by the way you look, by the way you dress, by the way you speak. That's one vertical, but by the way you think is a different vertical altogether. And how can I think differently? How can I think with a lot of relevance is something that must originate in all of us. So coming back to my first statement, there is a threat that we are fading away. It's a big threat. Why? Because there's a loss of sense of discovery in the audience when we do not appear before them in unknown forms, meaning they've not seen you in that form before. They've not heard those thoughts from you. They've not seen their own ability to interpret the situation the way you have now conveyed them to do. And that is very important as a trainer. So when you impart knowledge, it is merely recalled. But if you inspire, it is lived always. So do I want my audience to be informed because I have a knowledge, I'm a knowledge specialist, I've informed my audience. Is that the end of the story? Or do I leave behind a trail? I have provoked them, I have inspired them, maybe I have even asked questions for which they may not have answers. They are ready to call me, I'm ready to explain to them. And that is where the process of getting into a situation that I am not a coach who's sharing knowledge, but I'm a coach who's inspiring top actions from people. And that will keep your status as a trainer active and engaging, both. So think about yourself. I'm asking you a question. I don't want you to answer. What prevents a trainer from fading away? Have you ever thought about it? You and I can be faded away tomorrow. Tomorrow we may be lost from our seat. We will lose our seat. Believe you me, every one of us will lose our seat. If you're not conscious of this fact, you will not be the trainer that you think you can be. What prevents a trainer from fading away? Give a few thoughts. It is not experience. It is not qualification. It is not even your reputation. It is not even knowledge. Then what prevents a trainer from fading away? It is relevance. Relevance to today. If whatever you say cannot be connected with people based upon their living environment today, then you will certainly fade away. Whatever you say is not really relevant to them. So that relevance is a very important subject. A lot of us don't know much about artificial intelligence, right? I spend a day, sometimes half an hour, sometimes 1 hour, in the middle of the night, because that's my thinking time. And I want to learn more and more and more and more. I was invited to a conference in Pattaya last month. And it was a large conference. People from different countries were present. And addressing that conference, and coming from a travel and tourism industry, artificial intelligence is very important for us, very, very important for us. If you don't engage with that science, then you're losing the benefit of being a top-class consultant. And I want to be a top-class consultant. I am a top-class consultant. I can't give up my position, so I have to learn about it. I can't have someone come and tell me what it is. And then I made a statement based upon my own study. And it got published. It's come in a lot of magazines. I said, comparing to artificial intelligence, I compared artificial intelligence with yours and mine intelligence, people and AI. Artificial intelligence knows everything, but understands nothing. Artificial intelligence knows everything, but understands nothing. We may not know anything. We may not know everything. We surely know something. We may not know everything, but we understand everything. So what is the future? The future is knowledge which the AI has and understanding ability which you and I have. If both of them can be packaged, that is the best gift we can give to the world. So as a trainer, you can't be not connected with AI saying, ye mera subject nahi hai. This is not my subject. It has to be your subject. Why? Because you don't want to fade away. Why? Because you want to remain relevant. Why? You want innovation in your own presentations. And that is why we have to go beyond teaching. It's very important. We have to go beyond teaching. Another question I will ask you. When were you at your best as a trainer? I give you maybe 20 seconds to think about it. Think about it. You must have done a lot of presentations. You must have done a lot of presentations. I'm asking you a simple question. When were you at your best according to you? Not according to anybody else, according to you. You're your judge. When were you at your best? Think about it. You know my answer for that? My answer for that is the best is yet to be. Your best has so far not arrived. Believe in this. I don't know how many of you thought of this answer. Believe in this, that your best is still not delivered. Dear friends, your best, my best is still not delivered. Live with this thought. Be hungry to deliver the best. If you think my best was 5 years ago, my best was that time, my best was this time, you are again trailing away from actual reality. My best is yet to come. And that is the journey called journey beyond teaching. And if our best presentation is yet to come, then what do I do? How can I design? How can I strategize? How can I deliver my best presentation that is yet to happen? Start with believing that the next time you make a presentation, that will be your best presentation. After that, when you make a second presentation, transfer the best from the first to the second and let this be consistent that the best has never happened. The biggest problem with many of us is we are losing our learning curve. It's going absolutely flat. A learning curve cannot go flat. Every day, every time you think, a new thought process must remain active in us. A learning curve cannot be flat. It must go upward. And if our learning curve must go upward, then I cannot conclude I know it all. A very big problem with many trainers, I know it all. You stop learning and you are using your collection of learning. That's it. Sorry. Your collection of learning was perhaps great a couple of years ago, but your collection of learning today is on its way to become redundant. People are aware about it. That loss of sense of discovery is certainly looming large. And we cannot be away from a situation where you and I cannot master the principle of thought leadership. And that thought leadership, dear friends, is to believe that you and I have a long way to go. No matter who we are, no matter how old a trainer we are, no matter how many years of experience we carry, no matter what our age is. I think that inspiration, which I say inspiration is lived, I mean it. That inspiration cannot be a one-time happening. It has to be a part of our living. And that living is what makes it a lot more different. Now look at the other side of it. For a moment, let's take a glance from you. Okay, I'm keeping you aside now. And I'm asking you to focus on your audience. The audience levels, it has changed, right? Your audience is changing. Expectations of your audience is changing. Audience spans of thought is changing. Their patience is limited. They want to follow an approach called learning by doing. If you remember your FDI days, we talked about how learning can be most effective. It's not through teaching. It's through activities. Why? Because learning by doing. We add a lot of activities to what we want to communicate, what we want to present, so that a person better understands. And that is called learning by doing. If I'm doing something based on which I'm learning, that learning is most impactful. So the audience is completely on its, revamp. In other words, it is not the same old audience who will sit down, clap, no matter how good or how average you have been. They will still clap. No, the audience today has become a lot more intelligent. Take it, go beyond lineism. A little, I encourage you to go to young people. I keep telling a lot of my friends, the best way for you to test your skills as a trainer is visit a college, a senior college, visit young professionals, spend half an hour with them, and you will find how good your subject is. You may say, my God, my subject is totally not relevant to them. You've spent your years on that subject. So today's audience is fast changing, and your relevance is measured by, I repeat, your relevance as a trainer is measured by what you have to offer to your audience in that meets their expectation. If it doesn't meet their expectations, they are not listening to you. It's only a courtesy listen. There's nothing called they are interpreting you. Remember, many of you must have heard about this before. I always tell to my audience or to audience who are trainers. Now, this time my audience who are trainers, I tell them a lot of times, don't speak to people. We always say, what are you doing? I'm speaking to people. I'm speaking to the lions. I'm speaking to the trainers, right? Isn't this a common language? I'm speaking to the GAT team. I'm speaking to Quest teachers. I'm speaking to the district governors. Don't we use this language? It's simple, right? Now I'll throw a different dimension to what I've said. Don't say, remove the word to. Use the words with. I'm speaking with the people. I'm speaking with the governors. I'm speaking with the trainers. In other words, you're not speaking to them, you're speaking with them. The difference in the first one is you're presenter, you're on the giving side, they're on the receiving side. The second one, you're engaging them. Now that's what it is. Now, these small, detailed situations will actually change the way you present yourself, and I can assure you, you will remain relevant. So how can a trainer remain relevant is my next question, and a guideline for all of us. Number one, when they continue to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Learning is gaining insights into certain situations that you are not aware of, right? Unlearning is throwing your waste out. There's a lot of waste in our minds. I've been speaking for 40 years, for 35 years. What happened in 35 years? I'm giving it a decorative name called I have wisdom. I have experienced wisdom. Nothing. That's all nonsense. Whatever's there here are old thoughts. And if you don't exit from these old thoughts, you will never get new thoughts inside. Those old thoughts are influencing your thought process. That is what unlearning is all about. You have to clean up the hard disk inside you. And cleaning up that hard disk is called unlearn. And then your new format happens, relearn, where new thoughts come in, and you will see the value of relevance. I've come across a lot of people, and I am immensely surprised that they were miraculous. Some of them didn't know much about the language. They were very weak in English. Today, they are top-class English speakers. How did this happen? They didn't go to a grammar class. No. They didn't have an English teacher. No. These are the benefits of a coach. When you go with an open mind, you want to master a few skills, you get the opportunity, and that is called journey beyond teaching. So when you go to a teaching situation, don't look at it as a teaching assignment. Look at it as an assignment of servicing yourself. You give your car for service. Even a trainer has to be serviced, right? You need to start wearing new thinking caps. You need to become innovative. Now, these are the only ways that you can stop getting, into an irrelevant situation. And if you and I can be innovative, can try and dramatize on occasions whatever we have to say that appears to people as something very important, then I believe we are here to stay. The question of getting, fading away does not arise at all. And let's start our work today. Before you go to bed, ask yourself a few questions. Definitely ask yourself, and ask yourself as many times as you can. I keep asking when I do a training program, and like nagaRAJU will perhaps in his closing remarks talk about this statement. He must have seen me a lot of times. And like nagaRAJU, for my sake, you will speak in public and talk briefly about, you've seen me 4 times. Am I the same 4 times or am I different? Now,
You have never been the same.
so that's the reflection we are not willing to accept. We don't want to go and ask people, have I said something different? Because you've actually not said anything different. When you don't say anything different, when your approaches are not different, when your activities are not different, when your own skills do not reflect that your skills are different than the skills you were earlier used to, then it becomes very difficult. What content have I developed? Now, I'm not talking about new content for new subjects. Please understand me very carefully. Let's say you're a specialist in time management. For example, there's a subject called time management. You're a specialist. You've been doing this subject for the last 4 years. You must have done 20 programs. What content have you added to it? This is what is important. That you haven't used before. The subject is the same. What approaches are new? You haven't done it before, but now you're doing it. And that's why I keep saying the best is yet to be. The best trainer in you is yet to present. Prepare yourself for it. This is how you and I, ladies and gentlemen, can feel very satisfied that we are not just LCIP graduates. We are people who master thought leadership. We are here not merely to teach, not merely to impart knowledge, but we are here to provoke thoughts. We are here to transform our audience. We are here to demand actions from them in a direction that they've never attempted before. And you and I must always carry in life this very important threat that I will someday fade away and fight against every single situation. You cannot fade away. I cannot fade away. Why? I will innovate. I will change my content. I will throw all my old content out, restart doing the entire program. There was a program called PETS, and some of those in JCs know about the experience I offered to them. There were about 40 trainers from all over the country who came to Hyderabad. We were all staying in a hotel called the Ramada Manohar. We had a fire camp in the evening. I sent out a communication. These were the days when we were using those transparencies, overhead transparencies. You had an overhead projector. People had those transparencies on a plastic. They used to spend a lot of time using those markers, create beautiful transparencies because that was fun. Now everything is computerized. That was manual. So what I did was I asked them to bring all their transparencies, and they all thought there's a competition going on. Who has the maximum collection of transparencies? Which transparencies are the best? So they brought all their treasures, all 40 of them. And we had large tables spread around that area in the evening. And I said the judges will go around. So they thought the judges were the ones who will judge which transparency was the best. But the judges made an assessment of everything, and then the instruction was given. Look, we are all in a winter time here. It was December. It's quite cold in Hyderabad. The flame, the fire was burning. And what I asked them to do was throw all those transparencies into the fire. Very reluctantly, some of them abused me. They've not said it openly. They said, this guy has ruined my 10 years work. This guy has ruined my 20 years work. My God, I spent so much money. I spent so much time, and he put everything into the fire. Next day morning, I thought I'll have a hard-hitting day because they're going to challenge me why I did what I did. But believe you me, today, every one of those 40 say, sir, if we had not burnt those transparencies, we would have never improved in our life. And I know those people. They're still very active, very top-class trainers. So this is what life is all about. We have to go beyond teaching. Remove from your mind that you're a mere teacher. Your job is to impart knowledge. Your job is to just instruct and move around. No, sorry, sir. If my audience doesn't transform, it is not my audience who has failed. It is I who have failed. So our summary of the entire day in 2 lines is let's always remember, when you impart knowledge, the best that can happen is that knowledge is recalled. But when you inspire people, that inspiration lives with them. That should be the effect of your trainer, who's a trainer beyond teacher, who's a trainer beyond teaching. And please remain relevant, keep evolving, and the best is yet to be. Tell yourself every day morning, my best presentation is yet to come, and I'm sure you'll be very excited about that day. All the very best. Have a great time, and thank you very much. I hope I have justified in this 30 minutes talk that I have delivered to you. Over to you, nagaRAJU.
Thank you very much, past International Director Sunil Kumar Garu. This has been quite insightful, quite inspiring, quite touching, and I'm sure everyone has benefited from the points that you made. I request every one of you to give a thumbs up if you believe that inspiring others is the job of every teacher, every facilitator, every coach, every teacher. And if we think that we all need to reorganize our presentations, re-look at them, and then change our presentation style or whatever, so that our presentations do not just become transfer of knowledge, but are actually sources of inspiration to our participants. Give a thumbs up. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we have 15 minutes to go for in case you have any questions, please ask them. And I request Sunilji to stay for some more time with us and then answer the questions. You can also give your comments as well about the topic. You can begin by telling us what exactly is the difference that you see between these two, shaping leaders' daily actions, how knowledge transfer, knowledge presentation, and inspiring the participant. How does it actually make a difference to a trainer from the trainer's perspective? You can give your comments. If you raise your virtual hand, I'll unmute you. Has this presentation today been just some information given to us, or has it given us thought and a provocation to change our style? Yeah, I think Shwetankini has a question.
No, I just wanted to answer to your first question. From a trainer's perspective, I think it is the most satisfying feeling when you see your participants being transformed to the level where you want them to be. And if you see that transformation, if you see them inspired enough, if you see that change in them, I think it's the most wonderful experience. It's heartening to see that happening, and it's very satisfying. So I think what Sunil sir, as usual, he's a greatest orator. Whatever he says, it always kind of nails you down and shows the mirror that you're doing something wrong. And I still remember the first refresher I attended. He said these, he talked about this particular training wherein they actually destroyed all the transparencies. And I do the same. I never, ever repeat my presentations. There are times when the next presentation is weaker than the earlier. That happens at times. I still take that risk and I do it. And I always make it a point that I delete my presentation the moment it's done. No PPT saved in my laptop. I've learned it from him only. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shwetankini. I had a professor when I was doing my MA. He told me that every time you change 1% of your talk, presentation, whatever, so in about 100 presentations, it changes 100% or more than that. So start changing in installments. That itself is a big achievement. Shekhar, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. It's not a question. For the first one that you asked, it was informative as well as very inspiring. And what Sunil sir has done again today is like the what do you call the incident that he has told about. Today he has challenged the AI. So that's again another inspiring way of doing it. So we are really happy to join this session and unlearning ourselves to learn more, sir. Thank you very much for this session.
Thank you, Sheikh. So it was not a challenge, but it was, I think, looking into the way AI works. Anyway, Surya, do you have a question? Surya, do you have a question? In the meanwhile, Surya is not able to unmute himself, it seems. Does anybody have any experience in a training class or in any kind of class when you felt that knowledge was not enough? You had enough knowledge with you, you carried a lot of information with you, but you suddenly realized that knowledge was not enough to meet the expected outcomes. Anybody would like to share an experience like that? Antoinji, do you have a question?
Yes, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
PID Sunil Kumar. It was very inspiring session, and you make my day because it's very known in our district 351 that I am the naughty guy. Always when I do any session, I do my input. I create something new out of the box, okay, to deliver to my friend. And sometimes I heard this is not permitted. You have to follow the rules. You cannot go outside the book of the Lions Club. You make my day. In this session, it was very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you very
Pleasure,
much.
Antoine. Great to have you with us. Wonderful to have you from all the way from Lebanon joining us. Great. I have some great memories of
quite a lot of them from
training in your
Lebanon and
country.
Jordan. The next question. Has anybody recollected an experience of yours when you realized that knowledge was not enough? Surya, again, would you like to try? Maybe you're not able to unmute yourself. You went to a class expecting that knowledge was enough. You carried a lot of information with you. You had hundreds of bullet points, slides, or whatever. And then suddenly you realized that all information that you carried with you was perhaps not enough to reach the expected.
Uttam Jha has a question.
Yeah. Uttam Jha, do you have a question? Uttam, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, nagaRAJU sir, and thank you so much, Sunil sir, once again, and for this new beginning. My observation is when we talk about, you see, presentations and training, there is, you see, vast difference between the two. Presentations objective is to make people understood. That is up to you see, output level. When we talk about that input process, output, outcome, and impact. So presentation is good at one, let's say that juncture of the training program or anything else that we are doing. But after that, we need to move beyond that to gauge the outcome of the trainings and even for that presentation. And later on, claiming the impact that whatever we have been doing, how we have influenced the lives of the people or through lines activities or in any professional, lives of our people. That is, I think, required. And definitely presentation means a kind of, that presenting in different way. The ways could be different. But the ultimate objective should be the same, to change the life of the people or to impact something else. So what do you think, sir?
You're very right. You're very right. Actually, Uttamji, thank you for your question and thank you for joining us. I'm not really at this stage talking about you or asking you to compare presentation with training. I'm asking you to compare yourself with you. I'm asking you, if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, no matter what title you give yourself, I'm asking all of us to be very clear of the fact that the best of the people fade away over a period of time. There's an amount of inbuilt redundancy that happens. Are we conscious about it? Are we aware about it? So the focus is, what am I doing? Am I investing on myself? Remember one thing, training begets training. Meaning what? When you conduct a training program, the biggest beneficiary is you. While the audience are certainly good beneficiaries, when you conduct a training program, the biggest beneficiary is you. You are able to assess your thoughts. You are able to assess your impact. You are able to assess your ability to transform people. You are able to check whether you can provoke people very smartly. You are able to gauge your language, your flow of thought, your normalcy. Are you a still normal person, or do you get onto an abnormal mode? A lot of trainers get onto an abnormal mode. They go very loud. Now, this is where our focus has to be, that we need to invest on ourselves. Why? Because I'm yet to make my best presentation in life. Simple. In other words, I'm accepting I haven't made the best presentation in my life. I have to make that best presentation. My challenge to trainers is, it's easy to make people laugh. Have you ever tried an assignment that when you speak or after you speak, people will have wet eyes, right? Have you ever tried this? It's the most difficult thing for a coach or a trainer to get their people's eyes wet. In other words, you're touching their emotions, positively touching those emotions, making 100 audience laugh or be by your humorous talk is far more easier than even getting 20% of those 100 people wet their eyes because you said something that moved them. Now that is what I am asking you to aim at. Don't get into the nitty-gritties of this is my assignment, I'm only doing a presentation. Then that is where we live. We have to go far beyond that, Uttam Bhai. As a coach, we forget we are not here merely to propagate ourselves as a trainer. No, we are the change makers in life. I can't change others unless I'm ready to change myself. I can't talk about unlearning unless I am myself unlearned in life. So that's my focus, and I hope I've been able to respond to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sunilji. I think to put it in other words, the teacher's job, the trainer's job includes touching the hearts and minds of people and inspiring them. Srinivas Babu, do you have a question? Srinivas Babu, you can unmute yourself.
Rajesh Agrawal ji is also
Next.
Good
After,
evening, sir.
yeah. But you
Good evening, sir.
please switch on your video. Yeah, go ahead with your question.
So there is some technical issue. I
No
can't
problem.
switch on
Go
my
ahead.
video.
Go ahead. No problem.
Let me thank nagaRAJU sir for providing this platform. I'm admin of Galaxy of Teachers. I'm associate professor from Miracle Education Society Group of Institutions, Bhagapuram. So I thank Sunil Kumar sir regarding this particular presentation, and he reminds each and everybody should have self-introspection. How we are different from one training class to another training class. How can we cater the needs of especially students or somebody else, those who are going to face future challenges and have a bright career. But one thing I would like to mention here, most of the persons, even the elderly people, we have lost reading habits. Unless we continue our reading habits, simply it's not possible to have innovation or something like that. And advent of AI, we better use of AI tools to update our knowledge, and it should be more innovative and creative. That's my opinion, sir.
Thank you. Sunil, would you like to say something on that?
Oh, thank you. I endorse what he
Yeah.
said.
Lion Rajesh Agarwal ji.
Sunil Kumar ji, good evening to
Good
everybody.
evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
This is Rajesh Agarwal from Dubai.
Yes, sir. Everybody knows you, sir, and all of us are working for the cause of organ donation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for all the supports. You see, every time I hear Sunil Kumar, I was always wondering that how come he is so good and his speech is always different. Today, let me tell you, today I have come to the secret of success of talking and deliverance by Sunil Kumar, because he has said and he has taught a good lesson to all the grassroots people, including LCIP and including all the leaders, that one has to be different in life, then only things can happen and it is impactful. And really, thank you. And I am going to also adopt this thing from today onward. Tomorrow I am in Varanasi for the installation, and I am going to adopt the same thing from tomorrow itself. Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much
much.
once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Misban, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, nagaRAJU ji. This is my second SkillUP with Sunil Kumar sir. And one thing I've noticed with Sunil Kumar is you're so authentic, the way you deliver your message. And I think that's so important when you want to instill or inspire your trainees, if they want to have the audacity to do something. If you're not authentic, it's not going to register. My husband is an LCIP, and when we're at home, he's the most authentic person because he can't pretend at home. He's my husband. So I've learned so much just from watching him, carry out his projects, all the things that we do regarding Lionism. So I think authenticity is so important. How do you instill that in the trainers today? That's my question.
Well, I think lead by example is a very, very common phrase we keep using in Lionism when we are promoting a cause. I think the same thing happens here, that it starts with you as a trainer. So you can only become authentic when you are original, when your thoughts are your own thoughts. You can borrow thoughts, but when you borrow thoughts, you need to you need to kind of tinker those thoughts. You need to amend those thoughts to bring it closer to your culture of thought, your culture of life, your culture of living, your evidence of your testimony in life, in fact. So authenticity comes when you're true to yourself. That's the first and the foremost aspect. I must have spent my first train the trainer program I did was in 1982 in Rajamundry. Now, 82 is 18 and 26, so 36, 44 years. And I don't know, I've lost count. I think over 1,000 plus trainers I must have been working with. I don't think I am qualified to do that as a visitor doing training. No, I have to incorporate what I am trying to share with people into my personal life. Accept our mistakes. Be ready to accept that you're not the best. Don't ever say that I am being the best. No, none of us is the best. And there's a lot more that we need to improve, a lot more we need to relate to, and be a learner all the life. And that being true to yourself adds authenticity, Ms. Van. And I think that's something very important. It's so clearly evident. Some people, when they try to do it, their living pattern is different from their speaking pattern. I think you need to merge both of them together. It's a tough task, but somewhere, somehow, sometime we need to attempt this, that my living pattern reflects with my speaking pattern. Now, it may start with only 10%, but as you gradually move up, maybe come to 70, 80%, you will feel happy. So that's important. That's important. Thank you.
That's all the time we have, but we have one last question from Shwetankini. Will you please allow me to extend the program by 5 minutes? Yeah, Shwetankini,
Yes,
please.
So I have a very personal question. Since I've just started training for the last 2.5 years, what I'm facing is that when it comes to Lions training, there are at times limitations in terms of space, seating plannings and all, despite so many, I would not call instructions, but requests that I tell them that I would need some space for activities, or I would need space for introspection or things. Now, when I reach there, they have a certain style of trainings in mind, which has been happening for the last 30, 40, 50 years. And they can't think beyond that. So when I reach there, most of the times, either the materials that I've asked is not there, or the seat planning is such that I can't do anything with it. I'm having this limitation. How should I deal with it? When I'm like all of a sudden, when in the morning I reach there an hour before and I see that the entire planning has to be changed, how do I manage this?
Well, I'm not too sure if you're talking about conducting a program on which there has been a coaching guide, and though you have a lot of ideas, you still have to go by the coaching guide. Is that the focus of your question, or is it that unconnected with a coaching guide, you still are in a session and suddenly a lot of situations change the time that is given to you, or is that what you're trying to? What's exactly your focus on the question? A simple answer would be you have to tailor your, you have to cut the coat. You've got to cut your coat according to the cloth. So, but then that's a very simple answer. But I'm very keen to learn a little more, because it's coming from somebody like you. Signals a red alert in my mind. What exactly is the limitation she's focusing on?
Thank you once again. Thank you everybody for participating in this program and making
we'll talk
it
about
such a
it,
wonderful
Shwetankani,
success.
over a phone, and I'm sure we can discuss that over the phone. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the schedule for the future topics. And the next SkillUp presentation is on the 20th of this month, 20. And that is going to be made by another Lions stalwart trainer, PID Pankaj Mehtaji. And the topic that he has chosen is the leadership edge, turning insight into action. And I'm very happy to tell you that we have an international guest that day, our third vice president, the newly elected third vice president, Robert Redby, who has agreed to be the chief guest that day. So please be there on the 28th of August for the next presentation. To close this current episode of SkillUp, I invite LCIP Amarnath Rao to please propose a formal vote of thanks.
Good evening to everybody. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks or heartfelt gratitude to my president, Lion AP Singh ji, for gracing today's SkillUp program with his inspiring presence and encouragement. A special thanks to our great leader from our multiple great inspirer and motivator, past international director Sunil Kumar Garu, for his outstanding presentation on knowledge is recalled, inspiration is lived. Your words have truly inspired us to transform knowledge into action, sir. Our sincere appreciation to Lion nagaRAJU sir for his visionary leadership in successfully completing 3 SkillUp series and launching the 4th series with today's excellent first episode. Finally, friends, thank you to all of the enthusiastic participants. Your active involvement is the true strength and the success of SkillUp. Let's continue to learn, inspire, and serve with greater commitment. Thank you, one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amar. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jawahar Bihari, for explaining that LCIP to us. Thank you, everybody. So the episode ends here, but the Zoom window will be open for another 10 minutes for us to say hello. I am allowing everybody to unmute yourself on your own without my intervention. So if you wish to say something, either to Sunilji or to me or to one another, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sunilji. It was a wonderful session. I, being a trainer with a different modality, I do come across with the situation that you have explained throughout the session. And whenever I face the students in the college and the school, there's lots of new things that I need to learn there before I go and give my delivery. So I have learned really the right perspective of taking the training for the future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Archana. I mean, one of the, I recall one of my own experiences when I go to teacher training programs. I often tell teachers that one of the important purposes of organizing, conducting examination is not only to test the learning or the ability of the student, but to assess ourselves. So, how much have we succeeded in helping the objectives achieved?
Yes, sir. Let me speak. I'm the senior-most student of the Sunil Kumar, sir. I heard his first session in 1994 at Mount Abu. And Venu also here from Kerala, JC Pal, Zone President Pal CVP, and Aidwa Karwar. Congratulations for qualifying LCIP.
Thank you.
Wonderful. She was my
Thank you.
batchmate in Mumbai.
Thank you, Gampa.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, dear nagaRAJU, for this platform. Really, really, we have to continue in this platform for more and more. We're honored tonight to hear to the great leader Sunil Kumar, PID Sunil Kumar. Thank you very much. Looking
For the
forward
benefit of
for the
everybody
next.
here, Aida, for the benefit of everybody here, I just would like to introduce Aida as the latest LCIP.
Yes.
So she has been certified as an LCIP very recent, just a week ago.
Thank you. Thank you for your to guide me to reach this post. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Aida.